So if you go back to the times of Shaka Zulu, these were his hunting grounds. Everybody was forbidden to come hunt in his lands. And of course, what that resulted in was the mass protection of wildlife, which is a great thing. But then you fast forward to the 1890s, the Westerners had arrived and the clearing of the land had begun. A lot of the wildlife had been shot out. And a couple of hunters ascended on the Umfolozi and they started shooting rhino, what they thought were black rhino, because they were in abundance still. And of course they ended up shooting 3 white rhino, and they thought, oh goodness, these things are meant to be extinct in Southern Africa, but yet there are a few left here. And they stumbled across another 50, and of course those were protected because now this was the stronghold. And that 50 grew to about 300 in the 50s, in the 60s, and Dr. Ian Player was then in charge of the park here. He was the chief warden, and he said, guys, there are 300 white rhino left and they're all residing in this park. What happens if a disease breaks out? We're going to be in trouble. We'll lose the whole lot. So he and his team pioneered the use of drugs, and they started moving big game. They obviously lost a few because they were testing a lot of things. It was quite comical at times because these guys were the cowboys of Africa, and they had to move these things out. They distributed them to places like Zimbabwe, Kruger, where they'd been extinct. It's thanks to them that we now have 20,000 of these animals roaming in South Africa today. I'm actually standing in the original stables that Ian and his guys would have fed and watered their horses, which I think is just brilliant. It still stands today. We're going to be turning it into a little museum. We've opened up 2 lodges here now, commercial lodges for guests to come and actually see all the wildlife that roams here. There's the Big 5, there's a load of other animals here. It's a very, very special place, and I urge you to come.